We're doing a lot of cool things here at ACKO. When I look at the landscape of things that we're working on, it's quite breathtaking. We're working on an operating system here for insurance companies. We call it Sure OS, Insurance OS, just the in has been removed and we call it Sure OS. Sure OS is the single platform on top of which everything that an insurance company cares about can be run. Whether you're a health insurance company, whether you're a vehicle insurance company, whether you're a life insurance company. And that system, that operating system has many modules that are quite interesting and quite challenging to build. Very few insurance companies end up actually building this. They tend to buy this, they procure this from some other company, they try to assemble it through services contracts. We're one of the few companies that's actually committed to building all of these components. By doing so, we really believe that at the end of the day, the business is going to get that much more efficient for us to run and that much more enticing and easier to work with for the end consumer. We're also working on a variety of CRM technologies. The heart of insurance is this idea that it's a relationship between the insurance company and the end user. So that relationship and the technology that goes behind supporting that relationship is very critical to us. And so for us, investing in that CRM tech makes a lot of natural sense. We're building an AI-first bot that is going to be able to talk to our consumers and explain to them everything from their policy benefits all the way down to how to do things, how to claim their money in case they have had something bad happen to them. What are the terms and conditions that are involved here? We're going to simplify all of that through this conversational bot interface that we're building. We're also investing in understanding our customers a lot better, and that means a big investment in data technologies, being able to sort of get all of the data of the consumer in one place, be able to turn that data into insight and make sure that all of our systems and applications on top of it are contextually aware of the consumer data is a very big challenge. That's something that we're again deeply invested in. That's just a few of the things that we're working on. You need to actually come to ACKO to understand everything that we're working on.
Culturally, we are very fanatic about solving customer problem. I think that makes it the unique reason for anybody to come join ACKO. If you're passionate about solving customer problem, you want to drive impact at a high scale level, I think we are a place for you to come and join. We are a fairly humble organization. I think humility is something that you see around the organization. You experience it in everyday interaction with people. We look for people who are simple, practical, thoughtful in their approach. That makes us unique, different as a workplace. We believe culture is always defined by the leadership in the organization. And the best way to do that is you allow the leaders to bring their best version. So we don't follow prescriptions at ACKO. There is no specific competencies. We strongly believe situational leadership, right? So what does that mean? We want them to be bringing their style of leadership, who they are, which is their best version. That makes us, again, unique, and we don't try box them into a prescribed leadership framework or competencies or any of that. While we look at hiring people, while skill sets are important, what we actually give equal importance is the mindset. Do they bring a growth mindset? Do they see things from a fresh perspective? Because we are also changing the way insurance is experienced by consumers in the country. For you to solve customer problems meaningfully in a newer way, in a very traditional business where people experiences have not been great, the only way you could do is when you bring your fresh perspective, when you bring fresh thinking to solve these problems. So we are a workplace, those who look for meaningful work, want to drive a high impact in their career and create a fulfilling career in the time that they spend with us.
I joined ACKO and I met Varun, who is the founder and who is a very established name in the startup industry, right? With a very long-term focused thinking. And here is how it goes, right? He's like, hey, pick up the biggest problem statement that you feel after you join ACKO, and that should be your charter. Insurance today is unfortunately or fortunately seen in India as a very complex process for the end user to even take the insurance, to even have the post-purchase experience in terms of claims, etc. ACKO is actually trying to do that in a very different way, using technology for sure. But the way everybody at ACKO sees insurance is not just a process or a kind of product, but it is actually the destination of peace of mind for the end user, right? Now that's a very tectonic shift in terms of how insurance is seen overall, not only in India, across industry globally, right? It's actually a way of thinking that, hey, this will give me peace of mind at a user level. Now, to drive that tectonic shift in the industry from a point of view, we will also need to build amazing, brilliant products. Now just see the amount of challenges and the amount of work that will have to be done to make this happen. So now to push the bar of excellence to up to that level, we'll need hardcore builders. We'll need those builders who can challenge themselves, who really get excited by the horizon of delivering an impact, by the horizon of thinking absolutely very deep for the customer, having deep empathy for the users, right? Both engineers as well as product managers are going to be at the forefront of it. So for us, it becomes very paramount that for achieving this vision, we have to become the attraction destination for the right talent and also to retain them. So that is how I would put this across, that, hey, we are already clear where we want to go. So it's a combination of two, driving an actual real customer problem and turning that customer problem into a peace of mind. So that is how I would look at it.
For us, it's really important that people who work at ACKO are people that actually care about the problem. The problem we are solving for is a societal problem of protection, preservation, and prosperity. And that problem is something that if it deeply resonates with you, you're going to fit really well into ACKO. Having said that, there are a couple of things that are more practical ingredients that make anybody sort of fit really well into ACKO. Number one is recognizing that end of the day, we're all trying to solve problems. Whether you're a designer, whether you're a product manager, whether you're an engineer, whether you're a subject matter expert from the insurance domain, whether you're a banker and a finance person, doesn't matter what function you come from, we're all working towards solving this end consumer problem and business problem. And so it's really critical that we have deep respect for all of these functions. Only by bringing all of these functions together do we actually solve the real problem. And so that deep respect is the number one ingredient to fit well into ACKO. The second thing that I'd say is actually enjoying your people interactions, right? And that means the ability to collaborate, the ability to actually reach out and understand what does something look like from somebody else's perspective. Being able to do that, being able to collaborate across function boundaries, across a variety of people that come from a variety of perspectives, that's what is really important to fit really well into ACKO.
People do well at ACKO tend to be self-driven, curious, and grounded. We move fast here. We are solving real-world problems. So we look for people who are not afraid to go deep into customer pain, into system architecture, and why behind a business decision. If you enjoy figuring out things from scratch, you're comfortable with ambiguity, and if you're more about outcomes than optics, you will thrive in ACKO. We also value humility. No matter how experienced you are, you will need to be open to learning, collaborating, and sometimes even unlearning. That's the biggest part of how we grow together.
So I'll share from my experience. I worked in big companies like Microsoft and Amazon for close to 15 years. And the work that I was doing there, I was working with a lot of cool technologies, working on problems which had high scale. But the impact that I had, because I was a small cog in the entire big machinery, was limited. Coming in ACKO, I felt me as a leader or a developer or a product manager, whatever area that they're working in, the impact that they're providing to millions of people in India, that impact is much, much higher, and that is something that is very fulfilling for me and each and every ACKO who's there.
The one reason you get to build with purpose and see the impact and scale. At startup, you might get speed, but not always the structure. A big tech company, you might get scale, but not always the ownership. At ACKO, you get both. You work on products that touch millions of lives in a category that truly need disruption. You will have the autonomy to experiment, but also the systems to support and grow. And most importantly, you will be part of a team that's building something meaningful, not just incremental. If you care about solving real problems, moving fast without chaos, and doing your best work with people who genuinely care, ACKO is the place to be.
I'm really excited for the direction that ACKO is taking. When I take a step back and look at the end consumer, especially in India, what I see are hardworking people that want to make progress in society. These are people that are maybe sometimes first time employed in their families. These are people that have moved away from small businesses and now trying to explore and start larger businesses. These are people that, of course, are having a positive and large impact across the world. And so when you look at the life of a person like that, somebody who's a progressive person, somebody who's trying to move up in life, it is so critical that we as a company are partners in that journey. And what does that mean? And that means we are here to protect whatever matters to that end consumer, whether it's their house, whether it's their car, whether it's the health of their family, whether it's continuity of their lifestyle after they've passed away. Name anything that matters to people, we want to be in the business of protecting that. We want to help you protect that. Now, once you protect something, that's not enough. That is just the beginning. People want to preserve their lifestyles. Whatever they've earned, whatever they've managed progress on, they want to be able to sort of protect that and preserve it. So we want to be in the business of being able to help you maintain that lifestyle. And that could be anything from, servicing your car, as simple as that, to what does it take to actually travel, the visa that is required to actually travel outside. We want to be helpful and be participants in that journey as well. And lastly, the big part, prosperity. We are in the business of now eventually helping our consumers with that prosperity. And that means ability to invest, ability to protect, ability to prosper, but also ability to earn money, make money, be able to create value, be able to express yourself and have a large positive impact on the world. And that prosperity journey, oftentimes called banking, oftentimes called investment, there are, I think, very cool new ways that prosperity journey we could partner with our consumers with. So that's what we're building at ACKO. The ability and the technology and the product and the people required to help our consumers with the protection, the preservation, and prosperity in their life. We're deeply connected to the consumer life. That's what makes me very excited about ACKO.